Originally, the capital was inhabited by great numbers of yokai. The barriers maintained tranquility between them and humanity. Disturbing that peace and stoking conflict. How utterly barbaric.
Good. Well, what's the plan now? Obviously, staff goes to the building and I'm just stopping.
You said you could last. I did say that, sure, I guess I'm down. I've got you all out quick, and then let's go down to that dead plus buckets. Oh, hell yeah, it's high rounds time, baby. All right, everyone in, ready to start? Round 100, here we go.
Go. I'll be surprised if you can make it to round 20 if you win like that.
George, tell me why you're the only one that's still going rank when the rest of us are going to start. If it's 4 hours, I hate to let George quit, but he does kind of have a fucking test on the we're AJ listening to the clock back. All of them put on I swear, if you say World War II or Vanguard or some shit. What? That's not good.
Wait, so we're not playing Black Ops somehow?
Well, here's what I was saying. We need to beat the storyline of Black Ops 4. Beat that. Then go back to Black Ops 1, beat that, and then you need a chaos storyline of Black Ops 4. That way we don't have to power through the entirety of both stories of BO4 at once.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm down to do it like that. Can't wait to play mine. That's probably my favorite chaos story.
So let me get this straight. We're playing Cold War,
Just ignore it. So what's the strat? Camping, training, how are we going to do this?
I did training in the back of the greenhouse.
I guess training it is. Let's start getting...
I can't even make it to the village. I wonder if the other mages are all... Oh, I heard there are more you... Given their situation, wonder they asked for armies on you.
And we have to find the bird, bomb locations or whatever. Blood of the dead.
All right, I'm hitting the box. Let's hope I can reach the first try. The M8, easy gun, I guess. That's actually not that bad. Now let's see how the box decides to screw me over today. The S12, so this is how it's going to be, huh?
The S12 is epic. Kind of reminds me of my Baymaker. I miss that gun.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been playing VO2 so much lately. I think I might like it better than VO3 Zombies.
It's definitely up there. It would be a lot better if the distance maps weren't so terrible. Yeah, no way you can say VO2 is better. The two hit-down system sucks.
No, that is just the skills. You think the volume of powers better.
I say game there, George. How did you manage to go down already? It's round 3. But I'm hitting the box.
Look at the huge cloud in the sky.
That's actually where the race comes from. It looks like we're getting a first one. Let's go.
Let's hope it's good for them. Looks like that.
Everyone find a box. Let's go. I swear, I pulled this thing like every game. Also, Baron, death shot it. It still hip fire spray and eliminates ADS slave and scope in. What do? Read the COD Zombies wiki when you're in the bathroom or something?
Oh, I have an idea. Why don't you do it?
Oh god, another one of your tier lists? Wasn't the last one bad enough?
No, this time we all do the tier list together.
You mean I actually gotta listen to Brandon's opinion? Yeah, I can see this going very well.
Can it, W?
I think it sounds kind of fun. Let's do it, Donnie.
All right, well, obviously we got to start with the originals. So first up is Juggernaut.
S tier. Can't argue with that. One of the not the most purchased perk in Zombies.
Especially in the older games, it's an essential. We just saw earlier in the Sleepy George film.
Both, I guess? This one is interesting because double tap 2 makes you shoot 2 bullets as opposed to 1. Effectively double tap. Whereas double tap 1 literally makes you shoot 2 bullets, so you run out of ammo twice as fast.
Double tap 2 is obviously an S tier perk. I put double tap 1 in D tier, although I haven't played VO1 in a while, so we'll have to see how it measures up when we get to Kino.
Never thought I'd say it, but I actually agree with those placements. All right, on to Speed Cola.
I feel like we could safely put this and Quick Revive in S tier. They are the original main perks. Of course, they're the best. Yeah.
Oh, I get it now. Man standing at a grave is Quick Revive. That makes a lot of sense.
Jesus, Joe. Anyways, next perk is Mule Kick.
I would say Mule Kick is a pretty mid perk. It's way overpriced, and I rarely buy it. It's really only worth it if you get all perks. That's one I not to mention it increases the time it takes to switch between weapons. It's got me killed because I couldn't switch to the same weapon fast enough or accidentally switch to the same weapon.
Now this next one, I got which sucks. Okay, it's at least something. Next up is Deadshot. F tier.
Yeah, okay, it's F tier, but still, that doesn't mean it's useless.
No, it's pretty useless. Now, on the other hand, this next perk does only one thing, but it does it damn good. Electric Cherry.
I'd give it an A. There really are no downsides to having it, as long as it doesn't prevent you from having a perk, which, given the maps it's on, isn't really an issue.
Yeah, and every time you reload your gun, you get to zap the zombies, and then you can quickly escape.
Next up, I got a 2-for-1 special. That's because they both clearly belong in the same place. It's Tombstone and Tombstone.
Do we have a D tier? I'm not going to lie, I totally forgot Tombstone existed.
Wait, you can't put Tombstone in F, but has one of the greatest perk tables of all time?
Ah, yes, because that's what I want in a good COD Zombies perk, a song. Look, I'm not saying the jingle doesn't go hard, I'm just saying the perk is shit.
Who's Who doesn't even have a good perk jingle to save it. It's just a friend. Who's just technically enough.
Done. Alright, what's left? Vulture. It's a pretty cool one-off perk. I couldn't imagine giving this anything higher than a D.
I can dig it. It's only on buried too, so it's not like there is really tons of application for it.
I was going to say B as well. The zombie fart clouds and the 3 points and ammo is pretty cool. Really a good perk for camping. I feel like buried just kind of sets you up to camp in the jug hallway, but either way, it sounds good.
Alright, last but not least, the only new perk added in BO3, Joe's absolute favorite, Widow's Wine.
F tier, F tier, F tier, F tier, F tier, F tier, F tier. Well, we know where Joe's putting it. I would say it's honestly S tier.
I wouldn't necessarily say S tier. It is annoying to have to throw away the grenades, or even worse, when someone doesn't throw them away. But it's definitely a lot more clutch to have around than something like Electric Cherry.
A tier it is. Sorry, Sleepy Joe. Better luck next time.
Fuck Widow's Wine.
Well, you can definitely tell we like the OG perks. How did we end up with only those 4 in S tier?
Hey, I tried to put more up there. PhD definitely deserves to be an S tier perk. I really hope COD 2024 brings back the original perk system.
Speaking of COD bringing stuff back, have you guys seen the details for the new Modern Warfare 3 zombies?
Right, zombies, aka a reskin DMZ, that's going to be on the new Warzone map. Seriously, what the fuck is Activision thinking?
They claim it's going to be the biggest COD zombies offering to date.
More like the biggest pile of shit to date. Who the fuck wants Shitbreak 2.0?
Shit, I went down. But yeah, I really hope Treyarch is cooking something up for COD 2024. I'm not looking forward to this year. We're all getting it, right? Just to try it and most likely end up shitting on it.
You actually want to get Modern Warfare 3? Isn't it just the $70 DLC?
They claim it isn't, but I just need new zombies content after the horror that was Vanguard. I can hardly even believe that game exists.
How about instead of Vanguard, we talk about some actual good games? Have you guys seen how insanely popular Baldur's Gate 3 is?
Of course I knew you bring up that nerdy-ass team.
I thought about getting it, but Michelle said I was spending too much on video games, and it made me choose between that and Starfield. Obviously, I'm going to go with Starfield, but I'm going to wait until it actually comes out so I can see if it lives up to the hype or not.
You didn't pre-order it? Man, I got it months ago. I'm hopping in a second it goes live. You guys better be in the Discord. I'm going to stream it.
I have no idea what Tower Toppler is talking about, but I'll definitely be in the stream.
Did you really just call me that?
Ooh, I got the ray gun. Ah, no, these zombies just downed me. Quick, someone come revive me. I'm going to lose the ray gun to the box.
Wow, how's that for fun?
For a guy who says we're going to get to round 100, you really need to start pulling your weight.
Here we go,
Where
5
are you
seconds.
taking my daughter?
Back in the game.
Over.
Please,
Kim Jong-un
have
is sending
mercy.
us down another perk.
That dude
How
ain't sending
horrific.
shit. Bros nukes are all fake. I told him like 60 times to
We
send one. He
must
never
finish
did.
this
Bro
now.
bitched out for 3 years.
Had to punch me back in the Yellow House. Still can't believe we haven't gotten drugged.
Yeah, I'm going to need an LMG or something before I start packing. I have the execution right now.
Damn it, I was down again. I wasn't watching the stairs.
Here, I got you. Maybe we should all pick up the stairs.
I'm down. Just going to pack my M27 first. Still pissed that he put this gun in his other back. This thing shreds.
Shreds harder than Donnie shredding classified documents he's not supposed to have.
Not true.
Don't forget, I'm the President of the United States.
Joe, I'd be more concerned with you getting this good president.
That actually begs a good question, Joe. How exactly do you always have confidence in our press? Have presidential interest in the bill? Nah, I just get Kamala to do all that. She's more than happy to take over.
Seriously, Joe, you really stole the election from me so that you could just sleep in game?
Donald, you say that like you didn't go golfing 1 billion times during your presidency.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You went golfing and shit ton too. Probably as much as I did. In fact, you probably went golfing more than me.
I'm just going to interject here to say that is absolute bullshit. Donald, you golfed nearly twice as much as Obama.
Donnie, you had your ex-wife buried at your golf course. Do I even need to explain how fucked up that is? Like, damn man, you can at least kick the grass mowed. Even Richard Nixon's dog has a nicer headstone.
Listen, it's a beautiful golf course. Anyone would be honest with it. Hell, maybe I'll even play there. Just kidding. I'm going to cryo-freeze myself so they can unthaw me in the future. And then I'll be the great president of the year 3000. Robo-Trump.
Donald, you are one ice cube I would definitely kick under the fridge. Finally, I have a good gun. Okay, guys, we should all camp together like we did on the Giant.
Everyone make sure to buy claymores first. We can all place them down on the stairs to protect us in case the zombies get too close.
Good thinking, George. Plus, I got monkey bombs just in case we get overwhelmed.
Jeez, you think we got enough claymores?
That's the deal. Explosives and guns, what more can you want? Now, if only someone can make a real life pack a punch.
Guys, protect me. I'm not coming back. Look, it's not coming back.
I hope his wife and his
Look at that. Donnie really does have a heart. I'm sure Joe will be delighted to hear it.
I care about this country. If Joe Gross got legal medical minutes for Kamala Harris to take over and spell disaster for all, is that really what you want, Barack?
You know, a lot of people say the same things about
Every
you.
last
Maybe it's
one
time
of them
America had
is
its first
dead.
female president.
I wonder
Not
if
that
the
I want Joe to go.
Nioh majors
Just
who
who
asked
knows?
for help are
Just what this
safe.
divided nation needs.
Oh, that's really cute. Let me guess, man. Shell just walked into your gaming room.
The camel on Nioh Major's corpse is nowhere to be
What?
found.
No, 1 second.
There should not be a significant gap in strength between him and Abe.
Oh shit!
Whatever the case, we must
I
press
just hope
on.
she doesn't make me get off. That'll screw up the whole thing.
Camo's
No way us two will
mages
be
are
able to
here.
hold off the zombie. Joe comes
What's
back
this?
and probably just screw us over.
Like, what on earth could he do that's taking him so long?
Welcome to OneMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 ice cream flavors.
I hope they put chocolate chip at number 1.
I don't know, but whatever it is, he better hurry his ass up. Barack, are you back now?
Yeah, I'm here. Michelle just came in for a sec and was saying,
Oh, we heard.
Yeah, we heard everything. You forgot to mute your mic.
oh, well, yeah. Michelle wants to watch Netflix tonight, so I don't think we'll be making it to round 100 tonight. Not like we'd get there anyways. Is Joe even back yet?
All right, I'm back, guys.
Finally, what'd you do? Fall in?
I was talking on the phone, some real important presidential stuff.
You just said you got Kamala to do all that stuff. You definitely passed out on the toilet.
Chill out, Donald. It needs to be that. Now let's all get back to the camping spot and pass some rounds.
I'm getting kind of low on bullets. Now would be a great time for a max ammo.
Oh, I'm getting connection interrupted. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, George.
Okay. I'm not really sure what just happened there, but I lagged big time.
We got another perk coming in. Oh shit, it's Juggernog, guys. Juggernog is in the middle right under the clock.
Finally, hopefully this will help us get to round 100.
Just about that. Michelle wants to watch Netflix later today, so we're probably not going to make it to round 100. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, come on, man. Why is it always Michelle this, Michelle that? I thought I was your best friend.
Joe, do you actually think we're going to make it to round 100? We only got to like round 30 on the Giant, and that was on VO3. Plus, I'm Barack's best friend, not you.
Stop crying like a little bitch. We're still going to try and go for high round. Okay.
Nice one, Donnie. You made Joe cry. I don't have a best friend. You are both my best friends. You'd think at this age we'd be over petty shit like that. Oh, and you too, George. Didn't mean to leave you out like that.
It's fine. I got the point. Now let's all focus on mowing down these maggot addicts.
See, now this is what zombies is all about, not escorting some fucking dark ether orb across an empty field.
Oh no, I'm out of ammo. I can't kill any zombies until we get a max ammo.
This is not good. I'm out of ammo too. Someone better watch the window. They're going to start pouring in.
Oh fuck, I'm down to just my ray gun ammo. This might be it, boys.
Screw it. I'm buying this door so we can get out of here.
You bought us some time, but now that camping spot is ruined.
They're turning
We can still camp in this house. Don't
Into
worry,
your
Barack. All
kind.
is not lost here.
I think Barry was kidding.
What kind of atrocious...
I was not. Well, fine, we should have not said.
So, fuck. How did that zombie not die? Damn, that was close on my
Dusty Nioh majors. Take your kind.
Oh shit, I just found figured out how to open the door.
Well, that's just great. Now that you know where
All at once.
Nice. I'm down here. I have no ammo, and now I'm going to have no perks. Congratulations. Without those camping spots, we are beyond food.
Put our training skills to the test.
I'm down too. Come save me, Donnie.
Don't worry, Donald.
Check it out, guys. It's round 25. Zombie dies in the round. Zombie at the same time.
I'm ashamed to have fallen for such a cruel scheme.
I think they look way better that way.
I
Or at
ask
least
that you
that's how
take
I
this
would
scroll
make them.
containing my
no, I'm
secret
down.
I'm not
arts.
going to let you go out
I
like
hope
that.
it
Hold
aids
your
you
feet.
in
I got to start
bringing
ripping the box.
peace to the
I'm just
capital.
completely out of ammo.
Now I'm down. Help.
Great. Joe doesn't even have any points to get his perks back. How the hell do you only have 2,000 points, Joe?
Because I keep going down. I'm just going to get double tapped, so I at least have a small chance of surviving.
Yeah, I'm not really having much trouble back here. This is probably the best training spot on the map.
Wait, George, come down here. We can crawl into the garage and then camp here. Barack and Donnie come camp in the garage with us.
This is probably the worst camping spot I can think of, but fuck it.
All right, I'm here. Come on, Donnie. Let's make one final stand against the undead.
We are definitely going to die almost instantly.
I'm down.
See, there is no way we're going to be able to stay in here.
Guys, I'm out of ammo again. This might have been a bad idea.
A bad idea. Damn it, Joe. This was your idea.
Revive them. I'm going to throw a monkey quick. Damn it, I'm down. Come on, Barack.
I'm rezzing someone. Oh, shit. We're so trapped. It's all over. Yep, it's all over.
No! Well, so much for round 100.
Well, you can clearly see who the team medics were in this game.
Damn. Sleepy Joe and Sleepy George neck and neck with over 30 downs.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm never going to beat the Sleepy George allegations. This is why I play RPGs.
Oh, great. Now George and I are the same rank, and Donnie, you and Barack leveled up. That's not fair. We're in the same game.
I honestly have no idea how the ranking system works in this game, but I'm pretty sure that means
Camel
me and Barry are
mages.
good at the game, and you two are
Don't come any
garbage.
closer.
Anyways, I'm out this bitch. Gotta go order another copy of Super Mid Bros for Obama. Peace.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch my show with Michelle. Chat with you boys later. Oh, and by the way, Black Ops 4 is going to be way easier to stay alive, so don't worry, Joe.
That is true. You have way more HP by default in BO4, plus there are some pretty crutch perks that'll keep you alive. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off too. Gotta get back to Baldur's Gate.
In the middle feature. Okay.
Come on, Barack. How long does it take you to get dressed?
Settle down, George. I'm almost ready. Just give me another minute.
Well, you better hurry up. The movie starts in half an hour. I doubt even Michelle takes this long to get ready.
Now I have become deaf, the destroyer of worlds. Check it out, George. What do I look like?
I don't know, the Amber Bloom?
No, idiot. I'm J. Robert Oppenheimer. Isn't that obvious?
Yeah, more like Wanda. Donnie, how about you cosplay as the Batman instead? Look, you're already doing it.
When did I get injured?
I wanted to look cool and
Was it that whirlwind?
You had to go and be a jerk.
All right, guys, I'm ready. What is it? Seriously, George, what's the issue?
The issue is that god awful pantsuit. Please, take it off now. My eyes are burning.
Donald, you are the last person I want to take in fashion pictures. You have worse grip than a sink in Flint, Michigan.
Don't worry about it. Joe's finally here now. Who's ready to go see the movie?
What the fuck?
Exactly. Well, Marty, of course, why else do you think I guess that
For the last time we were going to see it, I told you I was watching that shit show for enormously thick stuff.
But Donnie, we have to see Ryan Gosling as Ken. He's literally me.
All right, maybe that is enough of that.
Joe, I don't care about your obviously weird man crush on the dog. Seriously, this is the last one. I am not watching that shit.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Sure you're not, Barack. We all know Michelle is bad.
Oh shit.
Why don't we just do the double
Man,
feature?
it's pretty tough, not gonna lie.
I'm sure Oppenheimer is like 3 hours long. Really think Stevie Booth is going to make it through that and then Barbie? Not a chance.
Fine, we'll have to settle votes on it. Me too. All right, well, I'm voting for Oppenheimer too, so that's 3 against 1. Sorry, Joe, I guess you'll have to see Barbie another time. swirling around you than flies buzzing around Joe's house.
Don't worry, Barack. I'll work out some winter bite, this sweetheart plea deal, and get off scot-free.
What?
And then if anyone asks about it, we'll just make up some random shit on the spot, like aliens are real and we have proof.
Wait, it's not jumping jacks round yet. Pick up your trample steeds. Let's just flip the round in this room and then I'll camp in that spot for the free perk. Also, I just interacted with one of the teddy bears for the music Easter egg.
The Easter egg song on this map goes hard, not gonna lie.
Dead Trigger, a zombies-themed shooter developed by Badfinger Games and later acquired by Deca Games, which hit mobile devices in June 2012. Widely celebrated as one of the best mobile zombie games ever, it's amassed over 60 million downloads across all platforms as a movie. The game's popularity even inspired a movie adaptation in 2019, though that whole situation was a mess, even causing the developers to pull support for the movie. But that's for another video. If you're new here, welcome. This is part of a series where I dive into nostalgic zombie games, or just classic games I never got to play growing up. So for this episode, let's dive into Dead Trigger, and see how it holds up today. Hopping into Dead Trigger, I would like to say this game is pretty similar to Call of Duty Zombies. If you watch my previous videos, you already know what that game is. You basically have day survivals. The concept of day survivals is kind of growing on me, because of course I grew up with wave-based zombies games, but now that I have less time to play games, it's pretty fun just playing as many days as I can before everything happens. Starting in the tutorial, it looks honestly incredible for a mobile game. This game is also compatible with Razor Kishi, so of course if you're playing this one. This game is also still in the App Store, so I actually don't have to emulate it this time, which is really nice for me. The sensitivity does feel a little bit slow. Not as high as possible, but still felt a little bit sluggish. Honestly, it's still fun to play it. To summarize the first mission, you basically just have to survive until someone opens this garage door and escape it. Something I personally also seem to get confused for how you kill things as well. I'm sure it adds a layer of strategy to this game. There's also where we meet Julian, who I assume is the person that rescued us in the first mission. He teaches us how to use the store, buy equipment and bandages that can help us through our journey. Loading in for the second day, so it's more of a basic time survival. It only makes the survival about 70 seconds. It's nothing too crazy. The overall British aesthetic is really pleasing to me for zombie games, especially comparing it to current zombies games. It's like they had like this dark, grunge aesthetic to it. I'm also noticing the zombies' eyes are green too. I wonder if that's for like a specific reason in the storyline, or if that's just a design detail. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. I believe the mission unlocks the current forms. Where we only have one though, I don't really want to waste it, because it could be a really important item if I can track it. Day 3 objective is to get to the gun shop. I'm still trying to get over the graphics. They look really clean. I've really improved them over the years. Looking at videos from 13 years ago, it still looked pretty polished for even back then. One thing I am noticing about the gameplay is there doesn't seem to really be an aliens. Or I could just be missing it, but I just could not find it. I think that's one of my biggest disappointments for me for this game. I love melee weapons in zombies games. Only having firearms doesn't ruin the experience, but it definitely hurts it in my opinion. At least just for me. I do like the ammo system. When you kill zombies, convenient, but it's never really the air is clear. So far, pretty sure it's a good thing for a mobile game. It's very pick up your stuff. I like it because you don't have to be so committed to the game. You just play a mission, then continue through your day. Unlocking the shop introduces us to Rose. It's basically asking us to do retrieve missions for his supplies, which he left in hideouts while he went. After reading his dialogue, I was finally hit with my first name. And honestly, it wasn't bad. The plans were about 3 story missions. There's also a casino. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I don't really mention it. It's just there. But, oh well, let's go gambling. My first bid, we actually won. But it wasn't until our last bid until we saw another bid. Rewarding us with bandages. Day 4 has us retrieving a box of band-aid from stuff. This mission is a little different compared to the other ones, because areas are locked until you clear a certain amount of time. Once that number is reached, the door allows you to continue to move. The health system in this game is also very interesting. You have 5 bars up at the top. If you hit, one of those bars disappears, basically giving you about 5 hits per round. So far, I'm not really having issues with my health at all, probably because it's still early game. If this photos at the end of the level, it was time to make a I ended up making it out. After completing this mission, we unlocked a new menu. This is more of my gameplay style. It's basically a wave-based island. We have 4 maps to choose from. Bloody Subway, Haunted Graveyard, Stadium of the Dead, Bloody Xmas. My first selection, I personally had to check out Haunted Graveyard. Loading in, whoever designed these levels in this game deserves a raise, because this looks absolutely phenomenal. It is a pretty small area to survive in. There's viables on the wall that can help further your run. It's not like weapons or anything, at least what I see. It's just more stuff like ammo and power tools. I guess I'm just stuck with this SMG. Getting back downstairs, you can actually buy this area to unlock. It doesn't do much, but it just basically unlocks the whole map. You have every wall by it. Skybox is very pretty in this map too. I like this big old church they chose to put in the background. I'm not quite sure what type it is, but it's still very good. Nothing really interesting happened until the end around. We had this SWAT zombie spawn. It was absolutely kinky for these armor guys. Wave 5 came, the lead spawn. This dude was a mess. He would spit out these green bullets at you. This seems to be a common theme in these games. They always spit out this like green ball of damage. I did run out of ammo at the worst possible time. I had to quickly buy more while avoiding this guy's blue ball. You also have to watch out for this lead. If he actually hits you, he takes out 2 of your bars. Taking him out, though, actually gives you a little bit of slow motion, which does remind me of Killing Floor. If you didn't know, that's one of my favorite franchises. One thing I am noticing, I'm really liking the overall variety of zombies in this game. There's not just like a set, 3 rotation. There's different models, different types. It keeps the game engaging. But I only played to round 5 because I was wanting to progress in the story. Day 5 had us continuing Rockstock's retrieve missions. This one making us find his 20-year-old bottle of scotch. Yes, you heard me right. I'm risking my life in a zombie apocalypse for some alcohol of a dude I just met 2 days ago. This day has us in some sort of facility, basically having us inside compared to an outdoor setting. I may be wrong, but this area kind of looks like a sun. After clearing the area, it showed us to the staircase down here in this area. It's a pretty odd place to store your stash. Who knows? I made it back easily completed the mission. Day 6 was the 3rd and final mission, asking us to grab these tools. That seems like the most reasonable thing to transfer so far. And at this point, I'm really used to the controls. I'm satisfied. Talking about shit. I felt like they could have done maybe this mission is
the rise of the zombies. Like, wait a minute, we've seen this stuff before. And this boom in popularity doesn't just account for film. It may be increasing in popularity at an exponential rate back then, with newer consoles offering more improvements. And once again, zombies became an oversaturated message as well. And just like the movies or TV shows, for every good zombie game there is, like Resident Evil, Project Zomboid, or Telltale's The Walking Dead, there were also very poorly made releases like Metal Gear Survive, Survival Instinct, and even Telltale's The Walking Dead. Even though this market had way too many rushed, poorly executed, or outright bad releases that deteriorated the genre, I still found myself regularly coming back to play numerous zombie games on end. Mostly, it's because there's so many ways to implement these undead freaks of nature. With the zombie genre, you can find games that are more action-oriented, running gun-esque, survival-related. There's even zombie romance simulator games. Don't play a romance simulator zombie game, by the way. I will find out and I will win. My point being is that there are so many companies that have taken the general concept of a mindless walking corpse. Small-time computer games if they wanted to stay afloat. And this was just a concern of many games called Prime Cities, something that instead is a literal Coruscant driving simulator. Although Prime Cities and other titles releases during the early 2000s were reviewed as fairly okay games for the time, with reviews generally being in favor for them, and they still have a which is surprising. I mean, how did their games like Indiana Jack not hit Game of the Year? But the thing to note is that each of these games would be improved on like made it apparent with their switch from content distribution to gaming development that they succeeded in actually in their vocabulary. In fact, Techland was trying to create their own in-house engine called the Chrome Engine in 2002, which is still being used and innovated upon to this day. In essence, the sky became the limit for this ever-growing company. In the early 2000s, with the rise of the brand, it can swim with its ambitions. But for the Indeed, though, it's just that one series, maybe even just one game, to push them to the next level. And that game came pretty quickly. That's right, baby. You already know what it is. Dead Island War. Finally started to receive worldwide recognition upon releasing this game. Partnering up with publishing company Ubisoft, this Western first-person shooter had great acclaim and sales that Techland hadn't seen before in previous titles. And the innovations that Call of Juarez has is nothing short of huge. Not only was the company aiming to go for technological features they'd never tackled before, like having the ability to play as two main characters that have their own respective gameplays, but this was also the first time ever releasing a game for multiple platforms. It was fair to say from the get-go that Call of Juarez was their most ambitious title yet, and fans and critics alike loved this series, which in turn would give Techland a whole new set of opportunities of expanding that IP, as well as creating new big titles. And one of those opportunities was to partner up with Austrian publishing company Deep Silver to create, yep, finally guessed it, Dead Island. In 2007, Deep Silver would announce to the world their upcoming project by releasing a very short announcer trailer for it. Now, if you're a fan of Dead Eyes, you might have noticed that there's a major gap between their first announcement and the release of the actual game. That's because Dead Island was going to be a completely different game than what it was now. In a 2008 interview between IGN Australia and Techland, it was revealed that everything about the original Dead Island, from story to gameplay, was going to be complete.
Where did the concept come from? Dead Island allows players to live the story of an unlikely hero who finds himself stranded on a tropical island following a plane crash. Not only is his wife missing, the entire holiday paradise is devastated by a deadly virus that turns people into vicious walking corpses.
Dead Island takes a non-linear approach to game structure. Can you give us some examples of how players actually have long-term consequences?
years old. It's talked about regulating to this day. That's how this marketing campaign by Deep Silver truly was. And when they finally released to the public later that year, September 6, 2011, to get their hands on Dead Island. So, after all the features that were hyped up, and after all the controversy that spewed from the marketing campaign, did Dead Island burn out? Well, it's okay. The remaining bit of this video is going to find something discussing the overall gameplay. To wrap things up, I'll go over the additional content that came after the release, as well as my final thoughts on Dead Island once again. This is a huge component of perspective of the books, I think. And just so you all are aware how the edition is my gameplay footage, not only because it's far more polished than the original, but also it's more readily available to play on platforms. Anyways, Dead Island is by far arguably the second most iconic thing that this game has to offer. In this cutscene, the drunken protagonist, the party is going on right outside the same hotel from the trailer. As you enter the party,
Voodoo the voodoo, bitch. I attack like a vampire without warning. Voodoo the voodoo, bitch. Let's go. Hide your kids, hide your life, you better get out of sight. Voodoo the voodoo, bitch.
Other characters that are used football players who apparently have bigger poems than strong walkers. Then Santa Fe nonchalantly throws you off stage because he just has that dog in him. After that, Colonel Jackson, the hotel's main security guard, tries to help you up into the game. Help you up select the plane. It also gives you an idea on how the virus is able to spread like it did within one night alone, as most of the people here were simply oblivious to the carnage. Survivor, and yes, you should always pick Sam B, not because he specializes in blunt weapons, but because he's motherfucking Sam B. You wake up in a nearby school, unaware of the event. As you go to home, you can even enter the room where the balcony, you get a where exactly what this is the north. Inspired tropical islands set north of Australia, covered in lush jungle, surrounded by beautiful beaches, with only this island holds more nightmares than you would think. As you look at the horizon, you get your first glimpse of the undead. Man watching the cameras. For some reason, he's more than willing to help you get off his island, but you have to follow his every direction. Though, making your way out of elevators through the lower floor, you encounter the worst of many infected who quickly knock you down and take a massive chunk out of you. But this isn't the end. Of course not. It's the beginning of the game. This is the fucking prologue. You think this could be the end of the game? Before getting into live, you're saved by Cinemoy, the headless Dartabanoid who is voiced by the legendary voice actor Steve Blum, who tries his absolute hardest to give a natural Australian accent. He's the leader of the sorriest group of survivors I've ever seen in any zombie media. Ones that won't even go out there to save the man who's trying to protect them from a horde of zombies. But here, the main character, the one who surprisingly has not succumbed to the infection that all others have died from. And once you make it out of the puzzle, you have access to your setting zombies in the game's first setting. This is the outside of the door. My father is the love area. Plays all the This area is stunning to look at, even to this day. When the light glares down on you in the perfect angle in front of the door, it's no wonder why people think it's more than anything else. Even content creators in the early days of YouTube. Dead Island started that mad zombie in a week. But all in all, zombies are extremely easy to take care of. Taking one step up, though, take on the survivors who are easy to the virus. Making them far deadlier than the same man elevator and also discovered the gang's unknown opponent. The man says he can help you get off the island, but you're gonna have to beat him. His infected by tunnels. There's a lot that's quickly coming from another by the way. This can prove harder than you think. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, for the most part, it is. So you kind of special. This is the Thug, a much larger and stronger variant of the undead. Similar to the Walker, they move very slowly, making them easy to avoid but it on they hit you have slice off their arms, hell, you can slice both their arms off and break their skull, and they'll still try to get you like they're the Black Knight from Monty Python.
Yeah, please. Think about it.
Like, you have to find gas to burn the body from the lifeguard station. You have to find it, and then you take it away. I don't really care. The only weapon that has any value is fighting hard on the earth. That's because Instead of roaming around the upper floor, which you just done in the prologue, let the maneuver different buildings. Jeez, if it wasn't for the vicious manually increasing nature ready to tear people limb from limb, then the investment timeshare here. And screw it, I'll look at the manual designs. Make sure we
How goes your mission?
Horrible. Random people for no reason.
And I'm telling you guys this right now, don't know anything. Jin is hands down the most useless character in that anime. To say that she is more useless than influence of motherfucking Amanda from the second game would be an understatement. But Amanda, I would say that she was up there for the second worst character of all time. I would tell you for the first one. Let's just have to wait and see who that is next one. But the trouble is, never is like to make it over to the next area. This is forced the city of Annoying Target members like experimental health. Named after one of the beginning's capital for Destiny, only strong area for the slums for low-income residents. Due to the sheer population density of the slums, this city is undoubtedly the most affected place that this virus has struck. With barricades, quarantine zones, and first responder vehicles everywhere, it's clear that whatever resistance that was established to help contain the outbreak is completely gone. The only thing that's left here are the nature's undead and far more deadly rascal gangs. Interestingly enough, all of the gameplay designs are exclusively present in this area, which can be considered catalysts of what was to come in Dying Light. A couple keynote features I'm referring to are the weather cycles that frequently come and go as you roam the undead city, as well as the ability to climb and run around virtually most buildings here. These features are very bare bones in the game compared to Techland's successor. The weather here will only last for a few moments and is found nowhere else in the other areas. There's not even a day-night cycle, which shifts between rain or not rain. As far as parkour goes, there's not much to talk about. These routes have barely anything apart from a few collectibles here and there. Match that with a completely outdated movement system, and this is something that most players probably missed out on. It's nice to be given a their traversal to conquer the undead, but it's far more efficient just to run or drive through the confined rooms. Nevertheless, it's insanely cool to see Tekla try out these features, especially since they get far more refined later down the line. A place where many healthy survivors have been to try and survive this outbreak. Even though their way of defense boils down to praying with their thumbs up their asses, this shockingly doesn't prove to be useful. Upon reaching their limits to being swarmed by the undead due to the constant ringing of the church's bell, which has brought in some nasty new infected. This is the rain, the equivalent of a zombie pickup truck. Like the duck, the rain will knock you down wherever it hits you. However, with restricted arms, the only way it can attack you is by either kicking you or ramming you. I mean, it's in the name. On top of that, the ram is very armored due to its pattern. You cannot hit it everywhere. The only way you can damage this borderline mini boss is by hitting its snowy backside. Or if you bear the infected problem, you have to call it help. For sure, the ragtag group of survivors is not voiced by Steve. So, she tells you that they're not surviving other groups, as even they are dealing with limited supply shortages. Yeah, it really seems like you guys are dealing with a lot of crates upon crates of apples. Apparently, wars have even been looted long into various survivors' lives. Seeing a trend of emission restrictions is their favorite campus, and not much there. And you go from nearby water to located from the rascals and dirty water back. Or in any of the side quests, this will be the first time where you face off against hostile NPCs. Nearing them, these rascals immediately draw their guns on you and you comply, bringing a clear combat that's not just bashing out that stone. Not gonna lie, that is this place. Aim for the head and you're broken. It's one shot.
Kitty. Here, Kitty. What are you crying about, baby? You can't beat him.
Know about this place? Then it's station. You can also hear this announcement outside of the police station, but skip this
choose something you like.
Thanks you for the service by revealing that the supplies can be actually found within the wealthy district of Portview, an area that is put on by the
Ugh. Nothing clears my head like molten metal.
Golly gee, I wonder if this was a smart idea for the residents. In other words, the only way to gain access to this wealthy district is by doing some parkour.
Right. What'll it be today?
I'm sorry, this is so embarrassing.
Let me back up. It's a cat. Yeah. It is. Jet shit. Hey, was it bigger last time? Fuckers can't make proper forms. Get it wrong. But like most of them can't really do much of anything. Shot it, you get it, stay here. How the fuck you could will they cover radiation? Well, most of them are. Well, they're all covered in radiation. Because like get like a rent.
Back and check on this poor little girl. Where is she? So Laura is a quote-unquote character in the Dead Island universe who makes no appearance at all, and who has no lines of dialogue, but is supposed to bring some sort of value to the dwindling Doom storyline. And spoiler alert for all you Laura fans out there, but the next time someone contacts you after obtaining the supplies, which is like 2 missions after this, she fucking dies. This character has zero impact in the game, and what, we're expected to care about her? I don't even understand it. Why was she added into Dead Island? Who thought that having her was going to sway any player's mind about this story? Anyways, to reach the sewers so you can get the food that Flores survivors. I don't care the name of because the escort mission is lame. This guy is about as strong as the Dallas Cowboys the second they make the playoffs. And he thinks they're escorting the entire team. And he gets attacked by just a few zombies. No. I think it's attacked by one zombie. It's likely it happens to him not. He starts
be seeing you.
Electricity and water doesn't really mix. When the overlooks, you know what's the only type of effect that do projectile damage in Dead Island? This zombie is without a doubt my favorite from this game. As far as the sewers go, it's an okay environment. This entire area is very enclosed and labyrinth-like. It's kind of like if you were a pet hamster in one of those cool tunnel cages. All the twists, turns, and dead ends. And while the many types of effect that are down here, one wrong turn can be proven fatal. But I don't know if it's the minimap that shows you exactly where to go, or if it's simply because I've beat this game numerous times. I feel like I fly by these sewers. I could just run in a direction. Notice the numerous doors that are apparent down here that prevent any effect from biting your ass, and boom, you made it to the wealthy area. Now, unlike the slum, the wealthy area is very limited as far as the space goes. You won't actually be able to go to the city. So I find it just being remember the remaining residents
The best way to help everyone is to find that guy from the radio. He's the only one who understands what's going on. We're only wasting our time here. Get them. We're staying and I'm taking a car and you're on your own. I'm Pedro Patient.
You've arrived, Lord Takachiro. Gozu Tenno.
You're in here the entire time?
At Yasaka Shrine. As he is the queller of plagues, the masses have great faith in him.
Take some notes, Jim. Though I kind of like the mix of the zombies in the lower part of the grocery store, as well as the front entrance where Ram is looking through. It shows that these rascals are just nothing more than dumb bandits who want to cause chaos and despair for any remaining survivors of the building. But their actual methods of survival are very poor. Take care of the rest. The game lives up as many groceries as they can in the August drop. So, It's also maybe because you opened up the sewer and allowed Ronnie to walk through
No.
I'm sorry. Even my boy Hank tried to tag along with her, and look what happened to him. Instead of progressing the story, we now have to take a detour to save Jin at the police station, because Jin is just simply useful and important as a character. We just love Jin so much. At the police station, it's just another similar shootout to the grocery store in all honesty. You make your way through the sewers to get there, you fight some zombies on the lower end of the station, and you take on the rascals in another shootout throughout the rest of the building. Nothing too special. What is special is this amazing line by Sam B. Bro has no chill. You know what? I can't help but respect that. Anyways, now that the group is all well fed and Jin is fucking saved, yay! I miss you so much, Jin. Simoy informs the gang that the man on the radio will finally be reached at the hotel's radio. There, the man lets the gang know about his status. He's alive and well, what? And he's still open to extracting y'all so long as you reach him. The only problem is that he's sort of a bit of a distance. Actually, he's not sort of far away. It's not like a bit far away. He's on a different island. That's right, he is huddled up in a nearby prison island, home to the world's most dangerous burglars, gang members, and all around that. Ooh, there we go. We finally have some revelation about who the man behind the radio is. Only took us a few hours to game. This is supposedly Ryder White, the colonel of the Illinois International Defense Force. Trapped on the prison island to aid his infected wife, Ryder turns to you more as a possible way to cure her in exchange for the extraction. But getting to Ryder might be harder than you would think, as the only way to get there is surrounded by sea mines, because, you know, this place is filled with the world's most dangerous criminals. The only way to safely get to the prison is by tracking down a man named Owen in the jungle, as for some reason, he's the only person that can maneuver through these seas. With the main story back in motion, it's time to make way over to the third and final location, the jungle. Because of how luscious this island really is, the jungle would prove to be a very hard place to get to, let alone find a random guy. But we will cover some ground if the gang... Wait a second. Guys, Jin knows a way to find Owen. Oh my god, red alert everyone, this way.
What has become of our capital? Please, Samurai, do something! Are you hurt?
I guess you want to talk about the new environment that you're in, but honestly, I don't think we want to. Over there! By a rival. Ammo, and then killing them to then getting alongside Jin and Tom. This way! I would say that maybe the only thing about is the introduction. It's really cool cutscene and design. This is by far the most forgettable and bland. Basically, the Butcher is just a regular infected that's a little faster, a little stronger, and a little beefier. Oh, and it maybe dodge your attacks a little more often. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. So this giant ass part, get it dead out. makes it worth continuing with these pretty bitchy. Whatever. He's got a ton of the game where the burial site is located. Escort Ope again across this entire area. Because why have one escort mission? You can have back to back. Going up the mountain, you're stuck in the burial site. Look, why can't they call out alone? Well, I'm not giving them another ship. Or they kid or ass. Hitler.
I hear you cross paths with Kekatoke at Kurama. Shrewd as he is, he is the cause of Benkei's growth, and the score must be settled.
So heading there is close to 20 minutes out. This is a place where I was practically around the My hero doing this. Thank you so much for. Okay. Well, I mean, the worst that can happen. This is a game system false flag. Really, this is like facing a butcher effective. All muted rider does is run towards the player and hit like a common thug. So as long as you keep your distance and dump all your ammo into him, this fight is absolutely no problem. Even the ram is a harder effective to fight than Ryder. Once Ryder is defeated for good, it's time to get the hell out of here. With Kevin taking the role as the pilot, the gang finally makes it out of the door, ready to leave the sanctuary in a nearby aircraft carrier and ready to leave this infection behind. Or maybe, just maybe, this is just the start of their next year. That's basically the story of Dead Island 1 summarized in however long this part of the video is. The best way I can describe this is I feel like there's a lot of ties with how this virus came to be and how a lot of the main groups in the story are handling this outbreak. I also really love how there's a lot of real-world similarities in Dead Island to the real world. Having the island set as the non-official Papua New Guinea, even down to the virus that the country had faced, is very interesting. I don't think I've played any zombie game that implemented a real-world virus that wasn't rabies, like the coronavirus. It's intriguing, and it makes me want to learn more about Dead Island virus and Papua New Guinea, and the characters I really enjoyed all of those main characters. They have their own best believe this fan. But I also like Logan, like Cardo, like Ken is a close second favorite compared to the fan. So all these things, they're all good tries to push. But apart from cinema, save the main characters or helping them find Ryder White, I don't want to help the rest of the team. I don't care about the light. I don't care about the church. I don't even care about Malcolm Carolyn Taylor because this game never gave me a reason to care. It was basically one missions for this group and then never see them again. There's no doubt that Dead Island is a story-centric game. The way that you progress through areas, find and modify new weapons, and encounter the different types of special effectives cannot be achieved unless you get to a certain part of the story. And let's not forget the fact that once you do beat the main story, you cannot go back into the islands. You have to start fresh even with your experienced character. But now, let me be clear, there's a lot of flaws to the game. You cannot deny it. A lot of this is because Dead Island is still, after all, a game designed for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Like anything made for older consoles, there will be many features or graphics that simply do not hold up compared to many modern-day games. But with that said in mind, everything about the gameplay is solid, to say the least. Starting off with the graphics, because unfortunately that's what most people tend to judge when first playing anything, let me remind you one more time, even with the Definitive Edition Remaster, this game was originally designed for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. If you were to compare this to the sequel that was released 10 years and 2 console generations later, of fucking course you're gonna prefer one or the other. I know, what a shocking revelation. Wait until you discover that the sky is blue and that the sun is up. Regardless though, I still think Dead Island 1 is beautiful. Frankly, the oversaturation of colors mixed with the high contrast and gritty atmosphere perfectly resembles the dark tones of a touristy island like this. The beaches of Nioh with their crystal blue waters and overdone paradise themes perfectly represent what a tourist would see at the surface valley of a country like this. Going deeper into the island where the locals live daily has this gray, arguably depressing color scheme that shows that life on this island isn't all sunshine and rainbows as a tourist. Poverty and crime riddle this area. Way before this outbreak was even involved, the streets look chaotic, messy, and downright horrible. It probably doesn't look all that much better before we get invested in the streets. These two contrasting environments tell such a great story, in which tourists who come here are only shown barely a fraction of what life is actually like on this island. And then the jungle. On screen, we have to talk about these jungle areas. Like, really? Tell me who in their right mind thinks of the jungle when they play Dead Island. I don't even think Deep Silver did when they were marketing this game, because all the trailers show the iconic resort areas. Fine, the tribal people here look really cool with their character design in the villages. And this high-up bridge with the waterfall behind it is aesthetically pleasing. Are you guys happy now? Planet knocked it out of the park 2 out of the 3 times with the main areas. But then bring in the zombies, the dead part of Dead Island, and they really cool too. The walkers infected do look like walkers infected that you'll find in any zombie media, but frankly, it's really cool to see how the dead look in the respective areas. And then the special infected, man, that's where Techland really shine in these designs. The blood towers over the player giving this menacing look. I don't think you stop in your tracks when you run into them. The exploders were beautifully disgusting, with boys and blisters making up their entire body when they explode into this red mist that acts as a sort of smoke screen. And fun fact too, but if you hear them well enough, they'll be in that bed for help, making you think that these zombies still have some conscious people behind their soulless eyes. Then the rams, oh man, the rams are terrifying. They look like an absolute tank, while also acting like an absolute tank. Look how compliant and restricted they are. You might think to yourself, what even are these people? How did they get here, and how did they turn in the first place? Or you might also be thinking, I've said this once and I'll say this again. They're bloated, so transparent. Look, the closest I can probably relate these zombies is that one bloated zombie from season 2 of The Walking Dead. They make you want to stop and look at their anatomy, unless they blind you with their vile corpse. See, even the butchers look really cool, as their arms have been shaving down, most likely to their own shoes, and giving the sort of look of death that you would never want to encounter face to face if this type of outbreak happened in real life. And don't even get me started on the gore, which still looks pleasing to this day. The way that any of these infected have chunks of their bodies sliced off when you cut into them holds up. The way you cut their arms, legs, and hands almost satisfying, especially when you get a critical hit, which slows down time and makes you feel like an even more badass killing machine than a killing force that time. Oh, and of course, the great feeling of smashing their skulls in with your foot, watching them poison themselves to death, or slowly burn away into this cooked, rotten flesh that looks more tasty than a white guy grilling a filet chicken at a barbecue. Oh, and then below and up the undead creeps into a million pieces, and watching their bodies fly in every direction, it really never gets old. Just the way that everything looks and the way that you attack these zombies, it still holds up. And as far as the combat goes, it's average. Dead Island primarily focuses on hacking and slashing with features that are either really cool or really annoying. In essence, you have 3 different ways of killing these zombies: by hitting them, by throwing stuff at them, or by shooting them. Now, the latter of the 3 is kind of useless compared to the other 2. Shooting is definitely best saved for the human NPCs, so let me cover that first. You shoot the NPCs in the head, they die. That's about it. These NPCs will die with one shot to the head, just like if you were to shoot your teammates in the head in a match of Rainbow Six. So really, at any stage, even if you use your most underpowered gun, you'll still have no problem facing them. Okay, but with the hitting and throwing stuff at zombies, it's so much better. Depending on who you choose to main as your playthrough, you might be better off meaning blunt weapons, sharp weapons, or throws. Sharp and blunt weapons have a chance of dismembering or crippling a zombie's limb respectively, making them not be able to use that limb. Additionally, with these melee weapons, you're able to repair, upgrade, and even modify them at a nearby workbench, which is one of Techland's most iconic features to exist. These modifications can range from adding bleeding, poison, and electric damage, which adds a whole new element to the combat. You can even see how these modifications change the look of your weapons, and each of them looks so badass. My personal favorite is the Ripper mod for the baseball bat, as it adds a motherfucking circular soul to your weapon. You cannot tell me that this is not cool. And if you do, you're a liar and a troll. Another staple of Techland's weapon features are the way that they'll look after they lose durability. If you depend on a weapon for too long, it'll break over time, making them ineffective against any enemy at any level. But looking at these damaged weapons, you can see that they'll actually have considerable amount of damage to them. Ships, cracks, and missing parts are just a few things that you'll see covering whatever damaged weapon that you're using. And it's small things like these that make this game as charming as it is. Oh, and fret not about the ineffective weapon bit, as you'll be able to fix them to its complete degree as many times as you want, so long as you have the money for them. Because even in a time of apocalypse, cash flows everything around you. It's all about the dollar bills, yo. Even though you can repair and upgrade a weapon, that doesn't mean you should depend on that one thing throughout your entire playthrough. As you level up and find more powerful weapons, the zombies and human NPCs will do the same, meaning that they'll take more of a punch and punch harder than before. So one machete that you love to use in your area might just be a worthless piece of metal by the time you reach the jungle, even if you upgrade it to your max ability. I really appreciate this feature. It forces you to scavenge, complete quests, or simply use the shop throughout the entire game instead of, not doing it. It also balances the combat system between you and the zombies. It isn't like once you reach level 60, you'll be able to take out zombies like they're nothing. There's still a challenge. No matter how powerful you are, they still make a challenge from the beginning of the game to the end. There's still that one chance that you'll get overwhelmed without it being unfair. Oh, and it's really, I like throwing some, aim your weapon at a zombie and rub it. I'm doing like a motion of the rubbing of a weapon in my recording, also known as my car, but you just have to trust me. These are most of the good things about Dead Island's combat. Fortunately, though, there are some bad things, which a lot of it is because of the outdatedness of Dead Island. Primarily, it's through the general community. If you've ever played this game for yourself, you'll know that your character likes to slip and slide around like it's an ice skating rink. You'll often find that your character will move a few steps even after not pressing anything, or will tilt their head side to side if they move left or right. Oh, and by the way, to put off motion blur in this game, if you do not like motion blur, it's going to be very nauseating playing this game. Anyways, the movement wouldn't be a problem, but there are instances where hardcore is required in certain areas, which do make it a problem. This issue is later solved and outright perfected in Techland's next zombie game, but this is not part 3 of the series, so hold your horses. There's also a lot of times where your character gets stuck on essentially nothing. I don't need to explain how annoying this is and how frustrating it can be when you die because of it. There are many times where I would try to run away from the infected or from a butcher, then I would get stuck on a rock, or I guess God's invisible happy balls, and get eaten alive. It sucks. There's nothing much more to say about this. Another very apparent flaw that admittedly Techland affects later on down the line is the stamina system. If you decide to run or attack or that's it, your stamina will drain until you reach zero. The upside about the stamina bar is the really cool feature that once it drains, your screen will completely blur out, as if you're on the brink of passing out. The downsides, though, are everything else. The stamina bar is so small. I don't know if the gang is secretly diabetic or has never done cardio in their life, but they run out of breath very quickly. Aside from the screen blurring, if you have no stamina and get hit by a zombie, you'll get knocked to the ground. It doesn't matter if the zombie is a pathetic walker or a giant ram, they all do this. This would be tense for the player, but once you get knocked down, the zombies just wait until you get back up again. And by the time you do get on your feet again, you've already recovered half of your stamina, so you can get right back into fighting. Not only is this feature more beneficial to the player than hardcore, but it completely ruins any sort of pacing. Why would you ever risk losing more health by standing around and waiting for regained stamina when you can instead get knocked down and momentarily leave? This is just a bad oversight by Techland. The stamina bar looks bad enough, but with this feature, it sometimes makes fighting a group of zombies more of a headache than anything. As you know, getting knocked down is bound to happen multiple times. But I mean, that's why you should always keep at least one grenade on you, right? It clears out all the zombies without you having to eat shit. The explosions are very fun to see. Last but not least, to wrap up the gameplay, each character you play as has their own theory. They also have their own skills, but the theory mode gives the player a large damage buff, as well as making them receive far less damage from zombies. Each of their theory mode has its own respective traits of the character and can be upgraded with an easy-to-understand skill tree. Again, these skill trees are easy to understand. If you want to upgrade a certain skill that relates to your character, all you have to do is level up and allocate that skill point to a skill of your choosing. If you want a character who can absolutely go apeshit with their theory mode, like me, and don't really bother with the theory to put points into other skills, also the skill tree is digestible and allows you to replay the game to create different build characters. It's not like Dead Island 2 and their unnecessarily complicated skill cards that have their own meta build. Sorry, I just really want the work shaded in it. So all in all, the general gameplay is definitely flawed like its story. There's no doubt about that. I do enjoy the gameplay so I enjoy the game more when I'm doing my own thing, killing zombies as I want to, building the characters as I want to, and playing it with friends the way we want to. You know, I haven't talked much about the multiplayer because I'm very lonely, but Dead Island is one of those games that is best played with friends. It's so enjoyable to pull undead together and kill each other together and just fuck around like in many other zombie games. If you're wondering too, the Dead Island servers are still up and running, and they work very well. You can play solo, 2 friends, or even up to 3 random people. So if you do want to try Dead Island for yourself, or you want to get back into it, I definitely recommend playing with other people. With the general gameplay aside, there is another component to Dead Island that really makes me love the game, and that is the best thing about Dead Island 1 is its extra content. From the side quests to anything else that was added into the definitive edition, there's so much that you can do, so much to explore, so much that you can find, and so much that you can play that'll make you appreciate what Techland has added. Starting off with the side quests, there are a lot of people that you can talk to and help out in all areas of the game. In total, there are 103 side quests that you can take on, which is quite a bit if you ask me. In comparison, there are 48 main quests that you have to play to beat the game, meaning that there are over double the amount of side quests compared to the already long main story. Now, a lot of these quests are fairly basic, don't get me wrong. They mostly involve you having to get specific items per person, clear out an area of infected or hostile NPCs, or escorting people to other locations. A lot of these quests, too, boil down to you giving specific supplies to people, which will never end. In fact, one of the first ever side quests that you can come across boils down to giving an already drunk man some orphans, which is definitely a choice to have in your pocket. So yeah, you can do these quests over and over again just to farm actually get money. There's nothing that'll blow your socks off, but in all fairness, the main story quests are just about on the same level. Unlike the main story, however, I really appreciate and enjoy what these quests are about, and the sheer amount of world building that takes place because of them from the characters that are seemingly random people. To understand what I mean, I'll give you a few examples of side stories that I really enjoy. At the resort, you can break into a nearby bungalow lounge where women are held up, who are completely defenseless. One of these women is Ann Snyder, a person who is so scared of being eaten alive that the only thing that she asks you is to find her teddy bear. What she's experiencing is something called age regression. And no, it's not the age regression that you can find on the VR chat daycare. That's what we call degeneracy. This is something that people can face when experiencing a highly traumatic event, causing them to mentally turn back to an age that they feel comfortable with. This side quest is very dark. Even if you get the teddy bear for her, you have this lingering feeling that she won't let this long out. No matter how brave she calls Teddy, there are still so many zombies waiting in front of their doors, ready to eat her at any moment. It's kind of crazy how this one character and her short quest makes me feel 20 times more sorry for her than whatever the fuck Jin is doing. On the opposite side of the coin, there's this woman named Kelly at the lifeguard station, and like Anne, she's not taking the apocalypse too well. Although she isn't mentally 7, she's absolutely terrified and wants nothing more than to be with her loving, enduring husband. Except he doesn't feel the same. Finding a husband towards the top of the map by the diamond bungalow, he's hiding out in a bungalow filled with a room with baddies who want to do nothing more than to party and fuck. And when asking him to go to the lifeguard station to be with his wife, he gets this to say. Similar to the previous side quest, this quest feels dark, but low-key funny as well. Imagine being in an apocalypse where you're just about to die, and even though you want nothing more to be with your soulmate, the person wedding you, they don't want your ass. I just love it. I don't think Techland is all that good with the writing of long-form stories, to be honest, but these short, easy-to-digest ones are theirs. I could go on for hours talking about many of these side quest storylines, all sharing these dark, depressing, and somewhat funny undertones that do a great job in setting the world and the survivors within it. Like, I haven't even mentioned the plane crash that you have to explore, and then scavenge for parts once you find that everybody within it is dead. But this video is already long. Yeah, no, if you want to check out these side quests yourself, I 100% recommend it. The gameplay that revolves around these quests are basic. As I stated, many of them consist of adventure, extermination quests, but the story themselves so big up. Side quests, there are a lot more extra content to talk about. There's a horde mode that many actually don't know about because it's hidden away in a horde bunker by the resort, housed by many of the soldiers who tried to contain the virus. You've lost contact with headquarters after being stationed down here, and instead of just lying around begging the gang to get them supplies like beta cucks, they're going off into different areas to kill more of the infected. You can join them, you have to fight an infinite amount of ways to infect it until you die, which I really enjoy. And these arena sceneries are so cool, as they're not just segmented areas of existing maps. They're new, fully fleshed out places with their own advantages and disadvantages that affect your survival. My favorite of the bunch is by far the overgrown area, a place that is very confined, very watery to slow down your movement, and is covered in seagrass, which heavily distorts your vision. There's a Vietnam joke here, but I'm just lazy to think one has to be made a 9/11 joke, so we can't have we can't do too much. Fuck it, let's just do a Breaks exclusive content. Put down your favorite Vietnam War joke down below in the comments for a chance to win. The winners will be picked when I feel like it and will receive a grand prize of nothing. So hurry while this contest lasts, folks. You don't want to miss out. With the horde mode that was added to the definitive edition, there's also a new Red or White campaign. When selecting the characters to play as, you can choose to be the game's antagonist. You can play as him in the main game, sadly. I guess I would like break the fabric of space and time if he was both the protagonist and the antagonist, but you do get about 3 new hours of content showing how he made it into the prison in the first place, starting out in the city of Thorsby. He carries out the mission of exploding the bridge to the wealthy city. Yeah, he was responsible for it after all. Also supposed to call an airstrike right after extracting, but once he discovers his wife's infection, he makes his way to the prison instead, where he comes into contact with Heaven. And it turns out that the antagonist who manipulated the gang throughout the entire main story wasn't the one manipulating the gang after all. Instead, it was the bald man himself shooting everyone along. He's even the person that let the zombies in at the lab, causing Frank West to die, or whatever his quest may be. I really like the story. I think it gives Ryder a bit more of a human side to his motives. Sure, he wanted to kill everyone in a fire explosion after leaving with his wife, and sure, he still took the vaccine for himself to try to save his wife, and sure, he did try to kill the gang in a final boss fight, but he had no idea about the gang or their community at any point in the game. So was Ryder a bad guy after all? To help differentiate this DLC from the main story, Ryder has to go through completely linear areas that are just being overrun. So many of the zombies you have to take on are still infected survivors. I can't tell if I like this or not though. On one hand, it makes the gameplay stand out with this being more of an open world gameplay with boulders sprinkled in everywhere, but on the other hand, this DLC makes me dislike the infected runners so much. They come out of nowhere. I believe they respawn after a few seconds in most areas, so it's so easy to get overrun. It feels like a relentless onslaught with no rewarding feeling. Also, just come back shortly. There were quite a few spots that kept dying because of this, and honestly, if I weren't making this video, I don't think I would have played this campaign a second time. And I'm not the only one who shared this sentiment. It seems like a lot of people on the Mary messaging boards share this exact frustration. So unless you want to explore the full context of the Dead Island story, I don't recommend playing this. What I do recommend is venturing out to find as many Easter eggs as possible, as there is a lot of them. Techland really wanted to show their love for as there are so many blank Easter eggs spread out in every part of Dead Island, from the titles of quests that obviously pay homage to other pieces of media, to their villains. obviously on whatever the series is called. It's no secret to anyone that Dead Island 1 is an incredibly successful zombie title. Although time has not been its best friend, not by a long shot, this game was widely loved upon release. In fact, as of recording this video, Dead Island 1 has sold over 5 million copies since its release, a milestone that no other game in its franchise has ever reached before. Even to this day, Dead Island 1 is still considered to be a cult classic, and it's pretty easy to see why. And on the other side, Techland was able to make a zombie title that charisma that you and your friends are bound to enjoy. And I mean, this is also the same game. They do the motherfucking go. Later, this game for Sam B. With the success he had, so what full-on balls to the wall capitalized this momentum. I'm talking a tie-in novel that was released on the same day as its game counterpart. A movie that was in the works by Lionsgate Studios that regrettably never saw the light of day, but above all